What up, YouTube, man? It's your boy Rock, back with another reaction. We got Jaylen Brown exposes Brad Stevens sabotage. The real truth about Gordon Hayward. Hey, man, shout out to Round Association, bro. Let's get it.
What's going on there, guys? Back with another one. And I want to talk about this briefly on the day as Jaylen Brown has given some insights or had given some insights prior to his trade about Brad Stevens and some of the things the Celtics organization was doing at a key moment in his development. We know Jaylen Brown came in averaging a little over 6 points a game, took a step in that second season, but that third season where Gordon Hayward was trying to come back from that injury, they took Jaylen Brown back out of the starting lineup, and it was met with so much resistance. You had fans petitioning because they were like, look, Jaylen Brown is showing improvement on both ends of the floor, and he's growing into stardom because you see once Gordon was traded, he jumped up to 20 points a game, that next season. But that little dip in his third season was Brad Stevens' loyalty to Gordon Hayward. And I know that he and Gordon
Brad Stevens, what are you talking about? Was he the coach or was he the GM back then? There's no way he been the GM this long.
Loyalty to Gordon Hayward. And I know that he and Gordon Hayward did some great things at Butler, right? He feels like he owes a lot of his success to Shelvin Mack and Gordon Hayward being able to take those Butler teams to the national title game, and Gordon Hayward banking out a three against Duke from even trying to win a title. That's where, Brad Stevens was viewed as one of the young, brilliant minds in the game of basketball. So
they said
when Gordon Hayward came over from Utah, he was showing him extra loyalty, but at the detriment of Jaylen Brown's development. And we're going to look at some of the things Jaylen Brown has said and also some things Brad Stevens said about the trade.
I will say there was definitely a message being sent, and that message was received. I wasn't thrilled with the amount of respect that was showed during this process. I think there was a bit of a lack of respect. I think it was fine at one point, and then out of nowhere, things just kind of went left. I think Brad is probably getting a lot of the criticism. I wasn't thrilled the way he facilitated some of the conversations, but I definitely think there's more to it. Chat, there's definitely more to it. I just wish that the more to it could have been explained to me, because if the more to it was explained, I think I would have understood. I thought I earned respect enough to get that explanation, but
facts.
Hey, obviously I was wrong.
I lost sleep over the fan part of this. Yeah. I get it. Like, there's a bunch of 7 jerseys around. I'm pretty sure I bought a couple.
Jaylen said that he felt disrespected by this trade process and he wished more had been explained to him. I know you're talking about trying to be as upfront and communicative with him as possible throughout this, but do you wish at all that either you handled this process differently or there was anything on your side that was not conveyed to him that you wish you had in hindsight?
I think I already answered that earlier with Jay. But I would just say, I'll just repeat that, I'm hopeful that we can sit down and talk about that at some point. But I'm sorry that he feels that way.
Now, the video I wanted to get to on the association thing. So people forget he has this powerful position, and I don't think they love how he's using his voice in these meetings, on behalf of the players. So it would behoove the players to really back their brother, in the midst of all these things.
I'm gonna show the people. I didn't care about the front office. Once you get the people that's talking about it, the front office is gonna start making decisions. Yeah. Because they got pressure on them. Like, I remember the Boston Celtics. We remember the year we came back. Gordon came back. Kyrie came back after the year that we took the team almost to the finals in 2018. Yep. Then we come back to the next year. Gordon and Kyrie are now back on that team, and so now we got this loaded team with all this talent. Mm-hmm. They decided to move me to the bench, which was understandable. You got guys, you making $30 million or whatever. But as a 20-year-old kid who is extremely talented, that slowed down my development. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So in that
He even
moment,
said it. That's crazy.
like, how do I get back to where I want to get back to? 'Cause now I'm getting criticized for not working on my game. Right. Now I'm getting criticized for not being ready for my opportunities. In reality, it was we just had a stacked deck, and it was too much responsibility for, you know, everyone to equally share. So what I did was like, you know, how do you win over the fans? Right? Anytime I'm on the floor, I'm the best defender on the floor. And then I'm creating highlights where I'm like, if I get a fast break, if you look at that year, I'm windmilling it. I get a fast break, I'm down here with it. So now they start to be like, why isn't this kid playing more? Just like put Jaylen back in the starting lineup.
Wow.
And that eventually made the Celtics put me back in the starting lineup. Not because I feel like they wanted to. You know, I think Brad preferred Gordon. You know, one, he was making more money. Two, was coming back off injury. Also the butler.
Butler.
So
Keep it at Butler.
I'm just, you know what I'm saying? They gave Gordon every chance.
Okay.
It's offensively that he absolutely could. And like they felt like he deserved it because he made that big commitment to come from Utah and from being an all-star to now, and it just didn't work out.
There's this clip that went viral recently where an NBA player was saying it took him a while to realize that the player making more money than him, that the team had invested more in, was the better player. And what he meant by that was not technically by skill, but what he would be allowed to showcase when the lights came on. If they paying you $600,000 and they're paying this other player, $15-20 million a year, that player is going to be playing more minutes than you, point blank, period. So it don't matter what you can bring to the table.
Because it just makes them look bad, but also it could just be them niggas just good though. Like whoever it is that is not making as much, like it's kind of like Dylan Harper and De'Aaron Fox, like.
So it don't matter what you can bring to the table. Also, they don't want to put you out there just enough to showcase for another team, and then they have to face you when the team pays you the right way, even if you busting the players behind. So what do? They stash players. And, Jaylen Brown obviously didn't get stashed, but I want people to know that happens a lot in the NBA. And with somebody like Brad Stevens, he had a loyalty to Gordon Hayward because, honestly, Gordon did have a lot to do with the opportunities he got. That time at Baylor with him, Shelvin Mack, those guys, I think they lost to Duke and UConn. They lost to Kimba's UConn, and they lost to Nolan Smith's Duke team, if I'm not mistaken. And, the opportunities that came for Brad Stevens, after that, he ended up in Boston. The rest is history. I think Jaylen Brown was the casualty of that. Remember, Kyrie wanted to leave Cleveland. He went on ESPN First Take. Stephen asked him, he told LeBron, why would I have to and all that. Back in that time, Gordon Hayward has suffered several leg injuries before going to Charlotte. But that third season in Jaylen Brown's career, the year he's talking about, his development was kind of stagnated just because Gordon was getting opportunities that he should have been getting. That was a year for him and Tatum, to honestly be playing together, getting chemistry. And it was at that time, because y'all got to remember, Jaylen Brown was drafted a year before Jason Tatum.
Yep.
Jason Tatum's class of 2016 in high school. Jaylen Brown's class of 2015. And the fact that Jaylen Brown wasn't able to, and offensively, Tatum came in with a little bit more, but defensively, obviously, Brown had a little bit more to him, and he had to really work, fine-tune his offensive skill set, whereas Tatum, he was ready to come in and get buckets right away. So Tatum should have always been starting, but, after Gordon Hayward was hurt, it shouldn't have been Jaylen Brown. He shouldn't have been the person who had to go to the bench. And that's when the team really made Tatum the face of the team, at that time. And Brad Stevens, again, man, he let his heart and his head kind of slow Jaylen Brown's development down until the fans stepped in. The fans like, no, put in Jaylen Brown. And we saw what he ended up doing, right? People downplay it now because the way everything's unfolded, but you have another banner up there because Jaylen Brown was able to lead you guys in the Eastern Conference in the NBA Finals the way that he did. So Jaylen Brown's history with the Celtics could never be erased.
Yes, and I don't want to take nothing away, but do not ever forget how good that team actually was, though. You know, they were so good that they won. They only lost, I think, 2 games total or 3 games total, but it was different, bro. I know the Knicks did something similar, but it wasn't, bro. It wasn't just a random postseason run, bro. It was dominance the whole year, and I wasn't paying attention because I wasn't really watching. I was just kind of in that casual fan state of just thinking everybody else is green but the team I'm watching. Boy, in for a rude awakening, boy. I just like, Kyrie, let's do it. That's my nigga, let's get it. And to my surprise, not to my surprise, because I did expect them to win. I didn't know that everybody didn't expect the Mavericks to go that far. Like, anytime that nigga on the court, I'm expecting that team to win. And they got a competitive team around them. Hell yeah. Anytime Kyrie in the playoffs, I'm expecting that team to win. Even now, but that's how I was before. So that's what I was thinking and hoping, and nigga, they played that damn super team, boy, goodness. But yeah, definitely shout out Jaylen Brown though still.
So Jaylen Brown's history with the Celtics could never be erased. But I do want people to look at some of the things Brad Stevens does. It's not a tactic that's that unfamiliar in the NBA. They do it all the time. But he had extra motivation to really push Gordon Hayward. If he could make that happen, if Hayward was good enough to be better than Tatum, he would have pushed him in front of him too. That was his guy. And it just so happened, that him and Jaylen Brown played the same position. Fast forward, Kyrie leaves Boston. Gordon Hayward gets traded to Charlotte. And like I said, the rest is history with JB. He did his thing. But this happens to a lot of young players. That's why situation and fit is always more important than your actual skill set. What opportunity will you get? Does the coach believe in you to highlight you to be used in the best way that is a compliment to what you could bring to the game? Or, are they on funny BS? Do they have politics that they're playing with others behind the scenes that can directly impact what you can bring to the team, to the organization? And bottom line, can it impact what you will be able to make, what type of paydays you'll get? Everybody ain't like Jaylen Brown gonna go out there, stand out, windmill, and make the fans rally around them. Some players are just better, but it's not aesthetically pleasing, so they never get the opportunity to show what they can do because they're invested in other players, so.
Okay, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think, bro. I'm out, man. No cap.